Okay,
The whole
okay.
show is us talking to each other. We're like sitting at a kitchen table talking. And again, anything you don't want to, just don't talk. No problem. We're not going to pull you in on anything. Well,
I'm not.
I'm going to hope that Faye
I'm not.
takes that.
No, come on. I want him to
I
win.
mean, you know, by saying that
No.
that out loud, Al, that you're just really challenging us to not do that.
Good evening,
on.
everybody.
Good evening. Yes.
I'm here with John from South Florida Gay News and Faye Watt from the Faye Watt Show and Dale Stein, the photographer with Miami Gay List, and some guy running for Congress.
He's a very important guy. We need him to win, and he will win.
We like him.
When he wins.
Adam Gentle, donate $25. That's the best thing you
And I
can do
love
for
that, I
American
love that last
democracy.
name.
www.adamfordemocracy.com.
Exactly. Well, good evening, South Florida and America. Welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. You know the drill. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, October 13th, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start by meeting tonight's host for It's Happening Out. First up, let's welcome Faye Watt. She's a radio and television personality and has a popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. Welcome, Faye.
Hi, how are you, my favorite homos? You guys good? I finished Squid Game. I know you're happy for me.
Yes.
I know, finally. Only took me 3 weeks.
Did you like it?
It took a lot of work reading all that. Yes, I loved it.
Yeah, all right. Next, let's welcome John Hayden. John is the general assignment reporter at South Florida Gay News, covering events and political developments directly affecting South Florida's LGBTQ plus community. Welcome, John.
Good evening, Al. Good evening, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here tonight.
We sat one table across from each other at Diversity Honors.
We did.
It was fun.
It was fun. But we were one table across each other for a while.
Yeah. Oh, oops. Let's move on quickly. Next, let's welcome Adam Gentle. Adam is running for Congress in the 25th District here in Florida. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening. It's good to see you. It's been a few weeks, couple of months maybe, but happy to see you again.
The Democratic Caucus we covered, yeah. And let's do that plug. We call it a plug here at It's Happening Out. Let's do that plug of your campaign. You want to encourage people? Well,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So if everyone that's watching this right now were to contribute $25 at www.adamfordemocracy.com, we'd be able to spend the next several months out there registering voters, engaging with people on the ground, and fighting back against the disinformation and lies that are being put out there by the GOP. So I'd really appreciate your support and help so we can get out there and do the work that we need to be doing.
and interesting, Adam, real quickly in a soundbite, answer the question, how many LGBT elected officials do we have in Washington, D.C.?
From the state of Florida, 0.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That sounds like a reason to do it. All right, next, let's welcome Dale Stein. He is the moderator of South Florida's largest LGBTQ plus Facebook group, Miami Gay List. And he sits on the Miami Beach Human Rights Committee. He's done a ton of other stuff, too. Welcome, Dale.
Great to be here as always.
Yeah, great. All right, well, good evening again, South Florida and America. We are the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. More than 50,000 of you watch us in YouTube alone, and we thank you very much for that. We have so much to talk about. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
We do. And it's all coming next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, you're watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show. So what does that mean? You are going to see anything that could happen. And I'm sitting next to this one and the potential congressman. So anything could happen. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and click the bell for updates. If you're on Facebook, like and share this video. Well, let's begin with a unique meme of the week. None of us have seen this. It's called "The Bears I Used to Eat versus the Bears I Eat Now." And Teddy Graham.
Is that Jonathan Casanas?
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
His
Hey.
Johnny's hair is darker than that.
No, and he's way more slim.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're going to regret that. I like Teddy Grahams, honey. Those are pretty good.
I could use just a touch of honey.
Yeah.
I like the Teddy Graham minus the honey because I'm a vegan. But, you know.
All right, whatever. It's Happening Out is part of the Happening Out television network, Hotspots Magazine, and WMEG events. Hotspots is celebrating 36 years of the LGBTQ experience. And merged, we bring you the best of LGBTQ news, entertainment, and support of our LGBTQ community. And by the way, you're all going to be invited. Mark it on your calendar right now. Wednesday, November 17th. We're going to have the big anniversary celebration here at Sunshine Studios, open bar, lots of food.
I'm busy.
You had me at open bar.
You're busy.
I'm busy. I'm at the, it's Happening Out anniversary. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I'm here. I got it.
That's right. And it's really going to be a who's who of South Florida, both in and out of our community. So mark it on your calendar. All right. Let's begin by asking who needs a drink. It's my favorite part of the show. I know Adam, if he and he has just cranberry juice, but I have vodka.
No,
because I need.
You have like only vodka. Look how clear this is, viewers. This is like straight up Tito's, just like that. Like no cranberry. Oh man, what are you gonna do?
What's your
no judgment?
Point? No judgment.
No judgment. Drink away. Drink away. I'll drive and I'll read. Go.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's play our yes or no game. This is called I'd Swallow That. We invite you at home to play right along with us. It's a good kitchen table party game. Come on, it's really simple and it's a lot of fun. I'm going to ask host 4 questions. They can play, not play, they can agree, they can disagree, but if they agree, they take this shot. If they don't, then they don't touch it. And that's how we play I'd Swallow That. Everybody ready?
Ready.
All right,
ready.
Let's play our game, I'd Swallow That. First, in the past year, over 1,000 LGBTQ plus officials have been elected in the United States. That was a 17% increase over the year previous. Question number 1, I'd swallow that. The rainbow wave of LGBTQ plus politicians are a change for America's better.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I always thought the rainbow wave was, hey,
Hey girl, hey.
but I'll drink to it.
Yeah.
This is just cranberry juice, right?
Just cranberry juice.
Okay.
It is.
we're going to find out shortly.
You told us,
Here's your Oppo research.
Yeah.
you told us about your UTI, Adam. So we brought you some.
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Clearing me out.
That's a whole different kind of campaign trail.
All right. So mine's vodka though. Mine's
Yours is
pure
definitely
vodka.
vodka. So what do you think?
Yeah, 1,000 LGBTQ politicians, federal level, state level, local levels, city commissioners, mayors, even school boards. What do we think about 1,000? 17% increase.
It does seem like a very low number to me. Even if I didn't know the stats, I would think that's a really low number because there are a lot of us around.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're like roaches.
We are 7%.
What?
Really?
What? We're everywhere.
Not to denigrate
I
our
just
community.
drove through Tennessee and Alabama. Trust me, we're everywhere.
I was gonna say, I've never heard myself compared to a roach before. We're 7% of the population. 7%.
That we know of that are up.
That are out.
That's right. And actually, Gen Z are 17%. The numbers are rising. But what do we think about the number of 1,000?
I think that maybe this is an opportunity to not think of it as a wave, because a wave is something that's fleeting and passing us by. But let's raise the sea level. We have global warming anyway. Why not raise all tides?
It's a very
You live
Florida
in Dade
reference.
County.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this Dade County soon is not going to exist because there's going to be water washed all over it probably. But
Well, Broward is just behind.
I read a report that it would take tens of thousands of LGBTQ politicians at all levels to equate our percentage of population. I'm just curious, why do you? We've had so much success in the last 20 years in this new millennium. Why not here? 1,000.
You mean we've had success in other arenas? You mean,
Yeah, the LGBTQ community and
I wonder.
and
I wonder
visibility.
because people don't want their dirty laundry aired. I mean, it's just a thought. I wouldn't want my dirty laundry aired.
You're saying
although
like
I aired it
someone
last,
that would run for office.
although I aired it last night on the Faye Watt show, by the way. Just as a
Oh, you were on Faye White last night?
Yes, and we aired some dirty laundry.
Wow, she's really just
The bottom of the barrel.
Not at
I
all.
saw
Not at all. My
that.
segment was on local gay icons, and Dale is exactly that, an icon for our
Anyway,
community. So
not to make the conversation about me, but
bit late for that.
And by the way, we'll get to in a moment why I've never been invited to the Faye White.
oh my
So
God!
speaking of politicians, I'm wondering, I mean, every gay person has a history, like everybody has a history, but I'm wondering, would that be more difficult to maneuver or navigate in the public opinion?
Yeah.
I think you are saying something that's right on point. I think a big reason why more good people don't go into politics, right? Because even the best of us have some stuff in our histories that maybe we don't want everybody to know.
Yeah.
I mean, just speaking from my own personal experience here, before I ran, I called my mom, my dad, my brother, my 2 sisters, and said, hey guys, this is what I want to do. Are you comfortable with A, B, C, D, and E? Coming out there. And I think that there's probably a lot of other people that maybe just don't enter because they don't want to have those uncomfortable conversations.
It's such an interesting point, and you give us an opportunity to explore something that we rarely get to explore. Congressman Ted Deutsch is such an ally of It's Happening Out and Queer News Tonight. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is such an ally. Donna Shalala is such an ally. But they're not LGBT. They're great allies, and we love that. Does it seem strange to you running for Congress first? Does it seem strange to you that you're running for Congress as LGBT? And is it strange that you're running for LGBT with no other peers that have ever done that in Florida? There's no LGBT representation in Washington from Florida. Does that seem strange to you? Does it feel strange, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think on one level, I feel really blessed to be able to do this. I talk about a lot of times when I'm giving a stump speech that I could never have dreamt that I have the life that I have today. And that's not only because I'm married and have a husband and a family that I love, but it's also that I'm able to do this as an out gay man. So this is a huge opportunity and honor and something I'm really grateful for. But yes, it is strange because I'm not sure about all the rest of you, but I think growing up and maturing as a gay person in a society that really pushed us to the outskirts and kind of ghettoized us, made our development a little bit different than maybe the larger segments of the population. So we're not quite as comfortable having everyone know everything about us.
I'm curious, Adam, I want to take the opportunity to ask you another question that's interesting to me about you running for U.S. Congress in Florida. You're leading. You're the tip of the new sword for LGBT. Do you wish it was 20 years later, 20 years from now, where lots and lots of people have done it and it would be easier for you because there's no issue? Many people have come before me. Which do you like better? Being the tip of the sword, or you wish lots of people would run in front of you?
I mean, I think that I should be a little humble here. I don't know that I am the tip of the sword. I mean, as we discussed in a program before, I mean, we have Harvey Milk that came before us. We have Richie Torres right now representing the state of New York. So surely there are a lot of people that have been the tip of the sword.
Yeah, and who from Florida?
Well, nobody from Florida.
There's the tip of the sword.
And I think the reason that we
just the tip.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do here in Florida, and I'm excited to be doing it. So.
Yeah, excellent. Well, very interesting. We're very happy that you've accepted our invitation to participate in It's Happening Out. And all of the times, every time Faye begins to open her mouth, if you'll jump in, you'll really earn a friend forever.
And I will flatten all your tires, Adam.
All right. Well, let's move on.
He will
She's
cut.
not kidding, by the way. Sometimes, even if you're good looking, being a trash person will still chase everyone away. Question number 2. I'd swallow that. Gay Trump insurrectionist, #walkaway, my friend Brandon Strzok says after pleading guilty for the insurrection, his now his problem is he can't get a date. Dude, that's not your biggest problem. Do you agree with that? I love your picture, Brandon.
Great picture.
So the question is, that's not his biggest problem, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm drinking this
I mean,
right
he might go
thing.
to jail.
I thought the question was whether we'd hit it or not, because I totally would. Look, I have low self-esteem and lower standards, so I'm
why,
here for it.
why do you hook
You
him
would
up?
have sex
Well, you mean
with an insurrectionist?
like an anonymous?
I let him put the in insurrection.
I guarantee you that conversation's not going on at MSNBC or maybe at Fox News.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a wow. you just.
Are you surprised that Brandon would focus on his sex life after January 6th?
No, he's egotistical. Look at him. He's totally. This is how he's gonna get laid. I mean, think about it.
I mean, I'm sure that's.
This is such BS. Come on, gay boys don't give a crap that he was part of the, insurrection. They still screw him.
Profile.
I mean, yeah. He has no problem getting laid. He's getting laid left and right.
Yeah.
You think?
Yes. I'm
probably just more on the right than the left.
Yeah,
but-
probably more on the right than the left.
more
But
in
he
the-
definitely
probably
is.
back than the front.
Al, why did you dump him, Al? He was your boyfriend.
I think he might find a few dates in prison, so maybe this will resolve itself.
Forcibly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I haven't heard the sentencing final, but he did. Well, we all know. All right, let's move on. On Monday, the President of the United States released a statement in support of the LGBTQ plus community. Question 3, I'd swallow that. I was actually moved by Biden honoring LGBTQ plus people on National Coming Out Day. The Donald never said a word about it, incidentally, in 4 years.
Back
Were
to
you
normal.
It's an absolute. Yeah.
Cheers.
That's a Tito. Rather.
Tito, right? Oh, no, I loved it. I was moved. I felt like he was talking to us. I loved the statement. He called us strong. We are strong. It is not easy to live our true, authentic self. And I witnessed it driving through Tennessee and Alabama with my wife. Not an easy thing to do when you're gay.
In a smart car.
In a smart
In a smart car,
And you're over 5'10".
Very difficult. So, I mean, I love this. I really did. I mean, and I never thought the day would come, to be completely honest. I never thought that we would have a president that would even acknowledge us in this way.
Yeah, and with all the things that are going on in the country, like in Texas and other states where there are these laws that are aiming to, especially the T in the LGBTQ community, to have our president stand up and speak on our behalf as a major ally in his very comforting way is just a major bonus for us.
I think Biden's been there for us for quite a while. I mean, if we remember, he got a little ahead of his skis, I believe, is the term that was used when it came to gay marriage, getting out in front of the president. Yeah. So Biden's been a true ally for a long time.
Yeah. That's a super interesting observation, because I was one of, I'm considered an uber Obama supporter. I was involved in many real big LGBT issues for Obama in Run 1 and Run 2. I never realized until the last 2 years that Biden, oh my goodness, our community thanks Obama. I have posted and talked about so many times that Obama will go down in history as the greatest LGBTQ advocate in the world, not just in America, in the world, until Biden came along.
Right.
He is going to go down in history as doing more. We're in the 10th month of his administration. Look what he has accomplished for LGBT in the first 10 months. It is breathtaking. We can never say thank you enough times of what we have seen in the last 10 months. Getting ahead of his skis, he absolutely did. Thank goodness he got ahead of his skis, because what we're seeing that he has done has been breathtaking, in my opinion. Question 3. There generally isn't much LGBTQ plus representation in the horror genre. As much as our community loves Halloween season, legendary gay film creator Clive Barker is looking to change that. We love that allyship. Question number 4. I'd swallow that. Gay Christmas is Halloween, and we're going to talk about this subject through the rest of the month. Gay Christmas is Halloween. I love that it has been announced that trans actress Jamie Clayton is cast as Pinhead in the new Hellraiser movie. Are we excited about Hellraiser?
I'm on pins and needles.
Oh,
I'm
God,
really,
John.
yeah.
Really,
I just
John?
knew
What do you say?
I'm gonna pretend.
I'm on pins and
Hold on, I'm
needles.
erasing that. Erase.
I'm more.
Adam,
I'm
do you
more.
know,
I'm
do you
more
know who
into,
Pinhead is?
I was just going to say, what happens if we don't know what it is?
a
Do we
scary
drink the
movie.
cranberry juice or we don't drink the cranberry juice?
Oh, drink
No,
your juice,
don't
Shelby.
drink it.
I,
Drink your juice.
I'm more into horror flicks than horror flicks. Wait,
Or
horror.
dude, that's called
Look.
Grindr. And that's called Pornhub.
I can't watch scary movies. I don't watch scary
But
movies.
you watch Squid Game.
I guess I know I love the gore, but I don't watch any scary movies at all. I mean, maybe it's just that I've maybe dated too many psychos in the past, so I'm just like freaked out personally. Or I've seen myself in the morning without makeup, which is also freaking kind of like scary. So, but I am happy that Pinhead is a female. I love the fact that, to me, to everyone, trans women are women. That's it. So I just love the fact that this time around, Pinhead is represented by a woman.
Faye, can I?
And she's hot.
Can I be completely honest with you?
You're always extremely, absolutely too honest.
Yeah,
You told me that my thong was sticking out one time, and that was very weird coming from
Wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, all right.
But you didn't have to pull it.
Yeah. That's right. Well, there is truth to that. Your point about all of the psychos you have dated. I have started a Facebook group called Faye's Psycho
Exes?
Partners
Really?
and Exes, and I'm gathering information on you for an in-depth story that we're doing at
Shut
Queer News
up.
tonight
Ow.
about Faye what.
Is that a private group or a public group?
It's a private group currently, but we're going to make it very, very.
There's not enough space in this room for all those bitches. Let's put it that way, okay? So scary.
Okay.
Scary.
Teresa is an angel. I'm just going to say it.
Her wife, I do not understand.
I
how she
idolize the wife.
captured her.
I mean, I idolize
I
both.
don't
but
understand it.
Yeah.
She is amazing.
Thank you. I know I'm amazing. We're a power couple.
Yeah, that's it.
And she just spent 18 hours with you in a smart car, so that's love.
That
with
is
the
love.
with the mother.
her mother.
Oh my God.
With my mother.
Fortunately, she is not watching Queer.
I mean,
or it's happening.
Hola,
out. All
Isabel.
Yeah. Next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. A new series of.
How many have you had? You
Smudge.
okay? You all right?
Shots
Excuse
Smudge.
me. All right.
Drunky, drunky?
A new series of quarters to be released by the U.S. Mint will feature will feature 5 pioneering women in American history. The first woman in space, astronaut Sally Ride. Well, that's not the most important thing here in our conversation. Who was revealed to have been in a 27-year relationship with another woman at the time of her death, will be the first out LGBTQ person in history featured on U.S. currency. A quarter. What do you think? Sally Ride.
That's incredible. That is just incredible. I do think that it's an easier, softer way of putting a queer person on a coin. You know, you're going to put Sally Ride. You're not going to put
At least it's not a penny.
At least it's not a penny, but
Marsha P. Johnson.
It's not Marsha P. Johnson. Like I would have wanted someone like that. Like
Somebody
okay,
from
you know, like
It's a
just
safer,
that would have. So this is an easier,
but
softer way for me.
well-
But
well deserved,
Not
well deserved.
a gay man.
But well
and she wasn't out during it. You know,
like
I mean, so
well deserved. I mean, come on. I mean, don't you think?
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Absolutely.
for sure.
So I mean, let's honor and be grateful and kudos. But you know, it's sad that she's not around to see it. Of course.
I would have slept with her for sure.
Oh.
What?
Well, that's-
where did it? What?
Does that narrow the field though, or?
Well, I mean, Faye.
Adam, are you getting the kind of trend that's going on?
Yeah, somebody likes to have a good time.
Thank you, Adam. Vote for Adam. All right.
Vote for Adam.
Adam for democracy.
That's all it takes to get Faye's vote. All right, let's move on to our segment that we call What's on Your Mind. Adam, get ready. Each host is going to tell us in just 30 seconds. Wait, let me move this over here. In just 30 seconds,
Forgot
what
to
is
warn you.
important to them this week. But remember, in just 30 seconds, or what are you going to hear? Oh, you're going to hear. Just
that
30
thing.
seconds.
I hate that
All right,
thing.
everybody ready?
Ready.
Faye loves this segment. It's her favorite segment of the entire show, except for
That
Saved by the
stupid bell.
Faye, what? Tell us what's on your mind.
Faye, what? So you know what's on my mind? Cults are on my mind. We've all heard about Jonestown and we've heard about the Waco debauchery that happened over there, right? But you know what's a true cult? iPhone users. Apple using people. all you people, okay? You're mean. I'm an Android girl and I'm gonna be an Android girl forever. Stop trying to convert me. No, your stuff ain't better. I recall a couple of months ago when everything went out for iPhone people, but you know what? My Android was still working, and some of you asked for my phone so you could post some stuff, right? You know who you are. It's a cult, and I'm
Give her the
not
bell.
joining.
Give her the bell.
There we go. Android, and they also have Abacus. Both of them are basically the same thing. John, what's on your mind this week?
This week on my mind is love. I was at the Diversity Honors this last weekend, and it was the first time that many people, including myself, had been to a formal or semi-formal event since the pandemic happened, and you could just feel the love. It was palpable in the air. There was great heels, lots of glitter, literally, and Stuart Milk was honored, and it was just a great time to be there. And I'm going to have another article on it tomorrow in SFGN, so check it out.
Very, very good. And when he's talking about shoes, John's talking about my shoes.
Yes, I am.
I'm pretty sure he is. And Adam, what's on your mind this week?
Wow. The rule of law. And I say that because a key part of democracy is the equal application of law. And that means the law applies to me just like it applies to the people who write the law. And right now we have this very strange moment where our Congress has issued subpoenas to figure out what happened on January 6th, to get to the bottom of the insurrection. And the people that are involved are defying the law, and our Congress has yet to enforce it. There seems to be hope that they will actually enforce these subpoenas, but this is a critical moment for our country. Failure to enforce these subpoenas sets a precedent that we may struggle to recover from, and history will judge us. So that's on my mind.
Absolutely. That's a bullseye. And Dale Stein, what's on your mind this week?
What's on my mind this week is my family in North Carolina. I speak to my niece quite often, and I speak to my sister-in-law often, so I love them so much. I don't get to see them as often as I would like, but I just encourage us all to FaceTime, which is an Apple. But actually, Apple, the new iOS, you can FaceTime people who have that thing called the Droid. You can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about family. And, I just encourage us all to embrace our family, be they blood or chosen, and to acknowledge the love we feel for people, because in the last 2 years now, so many people that I love have moved on to other planes of existence, and it happens so quickly, so suddenly, and so often unexpectedly, that we share the love we feel for each other, with each other, is so important. I love you all.
Aww.
Even you, Al.
Yeah, that's
Even you.
you're done. It's interesting. FaceTime, which I use all the time with my Android friends, I have to send carrier pigeons.
But they've changed it now. You can actually request a FaceTime with them.
Yeah, like I'm going to do that.
With a cave-dwelling person.
Wait.
Oh.
Next up, let's catch up with the news from the world of entertainment. While Superman may have just come out as bi, don't expect to see Henry Cavill locking lips with another guy. And production, by the way, has written that line just to stab a dagger in my heart. Henry Cavill, you are Superman. I know you are. So the iconic S is worn by Clark and Lois's son, John. And the new Son of Kal-El, #5, is on stands November 9th. It shows John's first kiss with his new love interest, reporter Jay Nakamura. Predictably, the right-wing pundits are losing their minds. Tonight's entertainment headline: GOP lawmakers and Fox News loses it when Superman comes out. On coming out day, by the way. What do y'all think? What's going on with Superman?
But first, the right wing, they're just desperate for something to talk about. I mean, they just latch onto these things which are so. It's the culture wars we talk about, because they don't talk about policy. They talk about things that divide and things that are so really in the scheme of the larger scheme of life. They're really irrelevant. I mean, really, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of policy and insurance for medical health, all these things that are really
global warming,
real important.
So they latch on to stuff like, oh my God, Superman can't. So they're really, come on, people.
or wearing a mask destroys your freedom.
Get a life.
You're right. So it's infuriating. But at the same time, Superman's super hot.
Well, and haven't we always thought he was gay, like just like internally? I think the LGBTQ community always, it's our gay agenda. We're turning everyone gay, you know? But I mean, it just was like, okay, he's bi. All right, the shallow end of the pool. Come out as all gay soon.
Well, the new Superman is a journalist. Hi, that's me. Lex Luthor has a bald head. I'm just saying, I could show this
Where are
guy.
you going with this, John?
I could show him the joy of Lex. That's all I'm saying.
Joy of Lex.
Joy of
Oh
Lex.
my. I would highly recommend that you go back and watch Justice League. Because in Justice League, that battle scene between Batman and Superman with this new news will lead to entirely new conclusions.
I'd watch that. I'd watch them have sex.
and
Pornhub. OnlyFans.
we make a lot of jokes about what DC Comics did. Can you imagine 10 years ago? Can you imagine 20 years ago, in 2001, a major international brand like DC or Marvel, Disney, coming out and saying, I don't mean coming out in that way, coming out and saying that their brand is going to take their icon identification. Superman is an icon designation of their brand, and we're going to have him kiss and have an intimate relationship with a man. 10 years ago, that was impossible. 20 years ago, they would go, Al, we're going to put you in a mental ward.
And when I came out 45 years ago, Superman wasn't even born.
Stonewall in 1969. So just 52 years later, in 69, remember the old black and white of Superman? 52 years later, Superman is in a relationship with a man.
Think how many lives would have been saved, or think how many lives will be saved today.
I don't want to say to the point, this is so incredibly, it is such an incredible moment because Superman is a whole different thing. We've talked so many times of this character's been incorporated in this show or this comic or whatever. We're talking about Superman.
Yeah.
And DC goes, shut up. This is what we're doing.
I know I'm interjecting at a late point in this conversation, but I think it's really important because we know the high rate of suicide in LGBTQ plus teens currently happening today, based on information from the Facebook stuff, the Instagram things, all those stories. So when this kind of story comes out, look at the support it gives to those youth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and to your point, look at the lives that it will save.
Before we move on, and echoing Adam's point, before in the LGBTQ community, especially gay men, before we dismiss this of going, who cares, we should care. Because representation matters. I'm not worried about my identity. Adam, Dale, John is not worried about their identity or their representation. Faye is not worried about it. If you're 16 years old, you're still worrying about who you are. And you turn and see this and go, wait, that could be me. This is a gigantic story.
He's a fictional character that will make real difference.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, that's our discussion on entertainment this week. Next, we report that the Happening Out Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community, and an example is here at the Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church. How often do you hear queer and church in the same sentence?
Every Sunday.
Well, every Sunday here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set at the Sunshine Studios, supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
My name is Stefania St. Lords, and I am Miss Miami Beach Gay Pride, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we would all be talking about. And this week, we definitely are. We refer to it as the hot topic of the week. This past week has been a firestorm of controversy and outrage over the new Dave Chappelle comedy special on Netflix. But have the people who are yelling the loudest watched the special yet? Our hot topic tonight, Netflix under fire for Dave Chappelle's transphobic new comedy special. What do y'all think about everything that we're watching? I watched it twice, by the way.
I feel bad that, like, right, just hearing you say that, I am one of those people that automatically, because of his past, right, and his past jokes when it comes to our community, I'm automatically just mad without even seeing the show yet.
That's right.
I've seen all of the other ones, all of his other specials, but the second that I heard this, I was like, that's it, canceled, I'm done, you know, which is not the right thing to do. I guess I should watch it to actually see for myself if I feel that those remarks were said in that kind of context.
Yeah, no, it's still on my list to watch as well. So I feel like
definitely should.
I'm going to. It's on my list. I've checked it on my list. But what's important too, the person who was fired, the trans person who was on staff, who tweeted the comments saying, we reported, I know, Queer News Tonight earlier in the week, but she reported that how the trans community really felt it was important and blah, blah, blah. She was let go from Netflix, but her position has been reinstated.
Oh, that's good.
So that's a very important move. I just want to make that.
Well, it's hard for one person to speak for the whole community, you know, so of course you probably got some backlash from that as well.
That was a big deal for Netflix to let her go, though.
Let's zero in on some of what Chappelle makes point of. Chappelle first says he is not homophobic. He says it over and over and over and over again. He is an equal race and organizational and personality bucket discriminator. Black, white. He clearly says in the special, I don't hate LGBTQ people. There's only one people that I hate, white people. That's his joke that he tells. He uses the N-word in every classification that there is, and he talks about jealousy and expresses, I'm not anti-LGBT. In fact, I admire LGBT because LGBT, and then he hits us with a board and says LGBT, because of the way they've done it, have gotten there faster than we have gotten, meaning African American, and you have acceptance far better than we have in African American.
So it's actually complimenting.
He compliments in a backhanded way.
Backhanded.
Yeah.
It's what do y'all think about that approach?
You know, the reality, without the white male people that spearheaded our community to get ahead, we probably wouldn't have gotten to where we're at today. And that's what I think that he's referencing in the Black community, that's why they have not gotten to the places that we've gotten to. You know, but if it was if we were Black and brown LGBTQ, we'd be right behind the Black community. I'm sorry, we just would.
I mean, but the thing is, we are where we are today. So if you're going to attack my trans brothers and sisters, then you're attacking me. And if you're going to attack the intersex community, then you're attacking me, even though I am just a gay man. And the thing that hurt me the most watching it was that he was sincere.
He truly means it.
And he truly means it. And there's not a laughter behind it. And that's one thing I've always loved about Dave Chappelle is that he speaks and
and on the joke.
Yeah. And like you mentioned a couple weeks ago about how his Saturday Night Live monologue after the election of Joe Biden was transformative. Yeah. But with the sincerity that he brought it, that's what really kind of cut me to the core.
That this is how he truly believes. He really is a TERF, which is an awful term, you know, and he's literally telling millions of people that trans women are violent and dangerous, John. You know, like the wrong person hears that and goes after a trans person. Whose fault is it? Can we say it's Dave Chappelle's?
There's already enough danger there as it is for the trans community.
And at that moment, he makes the point, he springboards before that observation in support of J.K. Rowling, and then I'm Team TERF. Before he gets to that point, he makes the point that this is a scientific fact. There are two genders, male and female. He states it as fact. And he goes, we, through science and through medical and through interpretation, can change that as fact. But it's not real, is his point that he makes, and that's how he echoes the support of J.K. Rowling, because that's J.K. Rowling's fact. And then he says, because of that, I'm Team TERF. So he starts from an absolutist place and uses that as an argument to prove his transphobia. What do y'all think about that?
Well, and his lack of education also. If you go back to history, indigenous people were two-spirited millions of years ago, you know? I mean, you know, not millions of years, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know? But my point is that this is not something that we just invented and came up with. So for him to say there's just two genders, male and female, that's it. You know, look stuff up, bro. This is not the truth, you know?
Now, has J.K. Rowling responded to this in any fashion? Because he's referenced her. I'm curious to see.
Well, she came out with this years ago saying she was anti-trans.
No, of course, I know that. But I'm just curious if she has any response to, because she's big time in the news now because of his references to her.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a single word. I ask you flatly, you have not seen it yet.
Right, correct. I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Having not watched it, in opinion, having watched it, in opinion, is he homophobic?
It's a tough one. That's so tough.
Yeah, probably.
You think he is homophobic?
I mean, because you know we've talked about this week in the news, and I'm not sure if we're talking about it again tonight, but like John Gruden, who said all the right things when Carl Nassib came out, who was a player on his now former team.
There's a gigantic difference here, though.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is you say one thing in public and you hold very different views in your heart, and that's my point. That I think Dave Chappelle probably has.
But he's saying
darker.
He's saying it very publicly.
Well, no, but he's saying, oh, I don't have a problem with the LGBT. He's saying LGBT community, but clearly it's just the LGBT community. But I think he harbors darker feelings in his heart, just having listened to the thing.
Apparently it seems, based on what he's saying, that I'm not homophobic does not include trans people.
His point,
and that's the problem.
And the justification of that argument is that he goes into this. First off, like at least 75% of the entire special is focused on the LGBTQ community.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. We have talked about it extensively here, that I have never seen an evisceration of the community in such a sophisticated way as this special, ever in my entire life. And that's a pretty good eye on the LGBTQ community. Never seen anything like it. He makes the point that he misses the old gays. He misses the Stonewall gays. And what he's saying is, in the Stonewall gays era, we pick up a brick and hit you with it. What we do today is we're super sophisticated, and we get the corporate money, and we get the Hollywood stars, and we get the whitewash of it's bad and it's bad and it's bad. And as a result, we create our own cancel culture that we so vehemently oppose. So he takes a premise that we know we don't like, and then turns it on us. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, if we're not going to be able to cancel Dave Chappelle. We don't have that kind of power. I'm sorry. I'd love to think that we do, but we do not. Yeah. And he is gozando. He is loving all this attention. Now he's got millions of other people that would never watch any of his specials before watching his stuff.
And think
about the relevance. And this was supposed to be the last special for Netflix. This brings up a whole other opportunity to bring him back in for way more money, you know, and get back all that money he lost when he left Dave Chappelle for going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Right? And just come back in a different way, in a big way, in a bigger way. And he has us to thank for it, sort of.
I think sometimes that's the takeaway in a situation like this, is let's not amplify. I mean, maybe there is a dialogue to be had about the criticism of what he's done, but right now, like you're saying, more people are going to watch, more people will be exposed to it. Sometimes it's better just to
him, J.K. Rowling's, and who else are going to join? Are going to start a crew? I mean, it's like just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of posts from friends very supportive of everything he's saying people who I know who are people of color and primarily, and people who also are very good friends of people who are in the LGBTQ plus community, saying, I don't see the problem. Everything you said was very funny. I don't get what the big brouhaha is.
Well, and
I've read that many times.
And I have friends that are black that didn't have issues with the baby statements, that were just like, oh, he was just on stage doing his thing. You're taking it, to a different level. And I'm like, am I?
Yeah. One last thing I want to ask you about. He ends the show. John has...
Spoiler alert for everyone that hasn't seen it.
He focuses on trans and talks about giving up the first set for a show that he is doing in, I believe, San Francisco or Seattle, one or the other. And it's a trans comedian. And he makes the joke of the trans comedian was terrible. Basically says the comedian was shit. And makes the joke of how terrible she was over and over again. But then after her set, she came and sat in the front row and they interacted through his set. And that the crowd began to love the trans person sitting in the front row because Dave Chappelle and the trans comedian were interacting with each other. And they started listening and playing off of each other, and everyone else fell in love with her. And then after that, she came to Dave Chappelle's defense and said he is not transphobic and he's misunderstood and you're taking it wrong, etc. And the attack on her then was from our community. And she was attacked day 1, and she was attacked on day 2, and she was attacked on day 3, and then by day 4 or day 5, out of the blue, he says in the special, and then on day 4 or on day 5, she walked off a roof and killed herself. And it's your fault. In a comedy special. Last night we did translation, and Raji Narayan Singh said, it changed my opinion of him. And she spoke very highly of him because her point was that he is expressing some facts that we should talk about ourselves, and it's not black and white. It is not Chappelle bad, trans good. It's not trans bad.
How good.
Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
Wow. That needs a moment to breathe. I mean, that's hence the silence. But it's, I respect Raji's opinion of everything so much because she's just so on point.
She's real and authentic.
She's so on point.
She killed me last night listening.
And what you just said to me just now, I can hear her in my head just saying it, and just in the heart with which she speaks. So authentic and beautiful and exquisite. And it is really on point.
So now she thinks different of him. So he has lost one fan and probably gained a shit ton more.
And this, the LGBTQ community, LGBTQ plus community, is not universally trans loving.
Yeah.
We know that. And to pretend that we are is to be
untruthful.
In denial.
Yeah. He finishes the set, John saw this, he finishes the set by saying, I'm raising money for her daughter. And that when she gets 21, he is personally going to give her the money that he raises for her. And he says at the end of his show that when he gives the money to her, I'm paraphrasing, please forgive me if I don't get this exactly right, but he says when he gives her the money, that this money is from your mother, and I knew your father. And basically says your mother was your father. And
so he gets to dead name her also.
It was a shocking moment.
So if this really happened, how come there wasn't a news story about that, about him giving this trans child?
I think a big portion of what's going on is people haven't watched. They're commenting on it, and y'all haven't had a chance. You will, but most people.
But that makes up for him being a TERF. The fact that he gave this woman some money, it doesn't for me. I don't know.
And let me make sure that
give me money. Maybe I'll think differently about you. But
I'm providing advocacy of the story for David Chappelle. I don't support anything that was said here. I'm just trying to provide the contrast of what is the counter observation that we're hearing in the community. But I guess the bottom line of the point that we're talking about is I've never seen a attack on the on our community in this way in such a sophisticated way.
And I'm wondering
Ever.
why you said 75%, you're saying, of the show. Why?
I've seen all his
Why-
specials, and
why-
it was like 10 minutes
Why
or
the
something on it.
obsession? Why the obsession is, and I don't have that answer, but why the
Because we're
obsession?
popular. We're in right now, Dale. But
He
it's the
basically
truth.
says he's jealous of the LGBTQ community.
And hey, from a cold number standpoint, he gained a lot of LGBT fans when he did the movie with Lady Gaga a couple years ago. Oh my God. Vodka, I can't think of the name of it. A Star is Born, the new Star is Born.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends were like, oh my God, Chappelle's kind of turned it around and he can act and tell stories. And so the Netflix algorithm probably said, you have a lot of gay fans, talk about gays. And then they didn't follow up on any of the stuff that he actually ended up saying.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this was the biggest commercial ever for the Netflix special done by Dave Chappelle. If you don't have Netflix, make sure you sign up today.
Right, yeah.
Closer, the last episode.
Yeah.
And watch Squid.
Yeah. It is definitely, can we agree, it's definitely the hot topic of the week?
It definitely is.
It is, it's really
And it's
a
not
big
finished,
issue.
though.
And
There's a
it
lot
isn't.
more to talk about,
There's
my
a
friend.
lot more
Yeah.
still to come, for sure.
Can I get more vodka after this?
Yeah, right. And again, I want to make sure it's completely clear. I'm not advocating any of Dave Chappelle's observations or arguments. That's not my point. My role here is to continue to put in front of you, this is what he says, what do we think about it? This is what he says, what do we think about it?
I'm not slashing your tires, Al. You're okay.
You probably are going to slash it. All right. Well, next, let's explore the LGBTQ plus world this week with some silly and important headlines in the LGBTQ news that is going on this week. This is a lightning round, and let's discuss them in our segment called Saved by the Bell. But there's a twist. We are only going to discuss each one of these headlines, in contrast to what we just did on Dave Chappelle, in just 1 minute. At the end of the minute, you are going to hear this bell to stop and move on. Yeah, that bell. Here we go. First, Cardi B is known for her music, but she grew up with very little. That's why her new show, Cardi Tries, puts her in new positions. Recently, she tried marrying a same-sex couple. Watch this.
Are surprising the other with a pop-up wedding.
Yes! So yes, I will. Today.
You ready? Okay, I'll see you out there. Hi, guys.
I love you. First of all, everything right now. Thank you. It's about to be an epic day. We are about to witness a same-sex marriage. It's National Coming Out Day, which we all know is a layered journey for many people in the LGBTQ plus community. Being a part of a same-sex marriage, I think, is important, so people see that, you know, there's differences, obviously, but also there's also similarities.
That's why I'm so excited for today. And today, one of the brides are surprising the other with a pop-up wedding.
It's going to be a surprise for one of the ladies.
I just hope that the bride is not like, I don't want to get married here.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
Like, it's like, what the hell? Who said I want to get married here?
Keep the van running. We can jump in and get out quick.
And why is Raven and Cardi here?
Well, Saved by the Bell headline number 1, Cardi B and Raven Simone surprise a gay couple with a wedding on a new show. What did y'all think?
I love this. I love Cardi B. I love Cardi B's ass, you know? So I'm like a huge fan and she gets to officiate these two beautiful
Are
women.
you sure you're not gay? A gay man.
I could be.
Yeah, I
it
think
depends
you
on what
might
day of the
be.
week it is. But yes, I'm all about this. No, I'm going to be watching this just like I'm going to be watching We Are Here with Eureka and
watched the
Bob
first
the Drag
episode last
Queen and
night.
stuff like that. So yeah, love it.
I say I do to it.
Really?
Aw.
Really? Isn't that cute? Yeah. That's
Such a writer.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to watch this. And you know the reason I'm going to watch this? I don't care anything about Cardi B. I thought she's been kind of crude, actually. But everybody in production is talking about this show, saying, you got to watch this show. And by the way, it's in Facebook Messenger. It's a new media.
Wow.
In how it's being displayed. Quite genius. Quite
Very cool.
genius. All right. Next up, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my beloved Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Las Vegas Raiders coach, oh no, John Gruden, recently had 7 years worth of emails unearthed gosh, that scares me. The hair on the back of my neck just went up. That revealed him speaking terribly about women. They're going to find my email. I know they are. People of color and the LGBTQ plus community. Saved by the Bell headline number 2. Raiders coach John Gruden resigns after 1 hour for homophobic comments.
Well, he's a used car salesman. Is what he is. And I'm sorry, and I know he brought your Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. That was Tony Dungy's team. Tony Dungy took that team to the Super Bowl. John Gruden just was there to ride the coattails. And read
idea what's going on.
And read my story on this in tomorrow's SFGN.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, that's
talk about being an equal opportunity disser. He nailed everybody. I mean,
Everybody.
It's just
Everybody, but not too smart to put it in print and put it on emails for all these years. I mean, come on, that's not too bright, my friend, Mr. Raider dude. That's football, right? Football, right? Okay. No, just tell my
it's
story.
sports. Every time we do a sports story, a little tear goes down my cheek. It's the stereotype about LGBT. All right. Colorado had high hopes. You're cutting me off now. Wow.
All right, so we're moving on then.
Right. Next week, Faye, what will be hosting? It's happening now. Colorado had high hopes of expanding their healthcare mandates to cover many basic healthcare procedures for transgender individuals, including surgeries. Saved by the Bell headline number 3. Biden has signed off on Colorado's historic expansion of trans-related health coverage. Thoughts?
Well, we've been praising Joe Biden already tonight, and this is yet another reason to praise Joe Biden and Colorado. It's wonderful news.
I love Colorado.
I love Joe Biden.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can always count on insurance companies to do the right thing when forced and cornered like a rat in a trap.
There is truth to this.
How long have you been saving that one up?
Years.
Colorado, we process this. They've got an LGBT governor, gets married in office. They pass the most progressive marijuana laws and dispensary laws in the country, and they do this. Sounds like a pretty good place to live to me.
Listen, all you people in Texas, pack up your stuff and go on over to Colorado. It seems to be where it's at.
It's like the Amsterdam of the United States.
Yes, exactly. All right. Netflix. They may have upset a lot of people in the LGBTQ community with, have you heard about Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Anybody heard of Dave Chappelle? But they're also trying to give us representation. Saved by the Bell headline number 4. The first reveal of Netflix's gay Christmas rom-com, Single All the Way, has appeared. We can't show it because Netflix has it tied down tightly.
Because they're busy with other Chappelle business.
That's exactly right. But we're showing pictures of it. What do y'all think about a gay rom-com at
I think it's
Netflix?
super cute, but I'm most excited because Kathy Najimy plays one of the mothers, and I adore Kathy Najimy.
Oh, I love her. Yeah, no, she's
Amazing.
awesome. But this rom-com is going to be awesome. And I love the visibility. I love that it's just like, it's kind of like we've arrived. We deserve these kind of stories. We're just as cheesy and in love as the straight breeders, right? I mean, we are. So, why not?
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
I'm curious, does anybody feel like Netflix needs to be canceled over the Chappelle situation when Netflix arguably over the last 3 years for sure has been the gayest place on planet Earth?
Look at all
in
the shows.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
we can't.
gay.
I mean,
Ryan Murphy alone, he's got 55 shows.
Yeah, they're just, and not just Ryan Murphy, there's Sex Education, there's, but Sense8 was on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Et cetera, and on and on. So, they're writing the Chappelle thing. In a sense, I think they're loving it. At the same time, they're probably not loving it.
Yeah.
So, but the rom-com.
Does anybody think, I guess the heart of the question is, with Chappelle's comedy special, does anyone feel that Netflix is homophobic?
no,
Absolutely.
I don't.
It's not an issue at the corporate top level.
No.
I wonder, we're going back to Chappelle, but I wonder the letting go of the trans person who did the tweet. That was a bad move.
Yeah.
At least they brought her back.
Yeah.
But that came across as a homophobic move. But,
Yeah. Okay.
But back to the rom-com, cute.
Yeah. All right. Well, we were very excited when the Mistress of the Dark, I love this woman, revealed she was lesbian. And we don't care that she waited until she was 70 years old to tell us it. Because I didn't even know. I didn't even suspect. You probably did. Did you?
I did. I smelled the lesbian on her.
Did you?
Did you suspect, or did you just really, really hope?
Oh, I mean, I dreamed about it.
Exactly.
You know, might have made a movie or two. Might have dressed somebody like her. But yeah, you know, I kind of.
Wait, let's process that a moment. Saved by the Bell, headline number 5. Elvira is fearing that LGBTQ plus fans would hate her for coming out late. She told this in an interview. What do
This
y'all
made me
think?
sad. This made me sad. And then on my second thought, I thought, how disconnected is she really in real life? Does she live in Texas maybe? Because like, you know, I mean, if she went to anything that we do, right, we would have swarmed that woman.
She's
I
an
mean,
icon.
she's
She's
so
a gay
loved
icon.
by us.
I'm curious to that observation, though. She expresses, these are not her words, I'm putting words into her mouth, that she is fearful that the cancel culture might exist over her coming
She
out.
been talking to Chappelle?
I think she might.
I think it's also a generational thing as well, because you know, if she were 25, 30 years younger, I don't even think the thought would. I mean, this is big thoughts into her head, not just words into her mouth. But I don't think it would cross her mind if she were, you know, decades younger.
Yeah.
But I think it's a generational thing to think, oh, did I hurt their feelings or something?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's super sheltered. Maybe she really does stay in a coffin
love that.
all
That
year
makes me
round.
feel
I don't know.
Can we take one quick last
really
picture
hurt.
view? Did it hurt?
Yeah,
of
it did.
Elvira on the left and Elvira on the right. Damn, she has the best of both worlds. First off, you're beautiful either way. And second, how wonderful is to be an iconic image like you see on the left and then be able to be totally anonymous on the right. What a perfect job she has had.
But she gets to have the cheekbones in both lives.
Yeah,
so God bless her.
exactly
So.
right. And the smile and the eyes. My goodness, the woman is stunning. And gay men, that's why we love her. All right.
lesbians.
And yeah.
And me.
Yeah, that too. All right. After a failed coup, Turkey had temporarily outlawed Pride celebrations, even though that was reversed. A group of people were arrested in 2019 for celebrating Pride and held in prison until just recently. Saved by the Bell, headline number 6. A Turkish judge rules this week that participating in Pride is not a crime and you can't prosecute for it. What do y'all think about that?
Can you imagine how this affected some of those people? These people got arrested, guys. They had a record. Yeah, now it's turned back, but for 2 years they had this on their record. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their marriages. I mean, okay, kids right now, look at this. Okay, can you imagine living in a country where you would be thrown in jail for being at Pride?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
You know, it reeks of kind of a Handmaid's Tale kind of thing.
Yes.
You know, it kinda, I mean, and the legal standing. What is there a legal outlook on that? Do you have a?
On what happened in Turkey?
Yeah.
I don't think that their record on human rights is remarkable. I'm not sure how
I'm just
how
curious
anomalous
about your
this
input
is.
on that. I mean,
Right.
not to put you on the spot, but it's just kind of curious.
You know, one of the things that washed over me is diversity honors. A director from Lithuania was recognized at diversity honors.
He was charming, by the way.
And charming. I can only pronounce his first name, Ramos, and has a beautiful film. We went to dinner, interviewed him on Queer News Tonight on Monday, and then we went to Bar Rita. And I introduced him to tons of gay people at Bar Rita. And we were talking about Pride in Vilnius in Lithuania. And we were talking about how fabulous Miami Beach Pride is, and how fabulous Stonewall Pride is, and how fabulous on A1A Pride Fort Lauderdale is. And then he goes, and I said something along the lines of, you know, Americans coming to Vilnius in Lithuania for their Pride. And he goes, our Pride celebration is a protest. Stop.
Period.
Period. That's what I thought of when I saw this story. There's still gigantic places in the world that are not celebrating with Martha Wash at the end of the program.
Right. The name of his film, by the way, is The Lawyer.
The Lawyer. That's right.
On Prime.
Our Pride celebrations started as protests. We're all just at a different place in our evolution.
Exactly.
Now it's just an opportunity to wear a bikini on a float.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right. During the last 4 years, attacks on the LGBTQ plus community have increased. Donald Trump. Anybody heard of him? No. Combine that with many members of the community being stuck indoors and unsupportive family during pandemic, and it is a hard time for many. Saved by the Bell, headline number 7. Study finds, now this is going to shock you, hold your seats. Trump's presidency has now been linked to LGBTQ plus created mental distress. I know, I know. I know.
I mean, they needed a study for this. They needed a study for this.
This study is really stupid. I mean, our rights were jeopardized on a daily basis, and we had a president that basically told people it was okay to hate us. Okay, I mean, of course we have PTSD. I still can't even. I can't even see a big white truck without trembling and looking for the freaking flag. I mean,
Excuse me. He first off, patriots. He was the greatest LGBTQ president in history.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He told us that over and over again.
Yeah, you know what's really stressful also is the number of LGBTQ people who support that thing.
17%.
That gives me even almost more stress than he does or did.
Yeah, 17% voted for.
I'm stressed out thinking about it. Any idea how we can fix the problem?
Not re-elect him in 2024, and we do that by making sure we rock the midterms in 2022.
That's right, Adam for democracy. All right, well, finally tonight, we're the, oh wait, just one.
That was a long 30 seconds.
Finally tonight, we are the LGBTQ community, and often we like to talk about sex. Sex and relationships. So we're going to play another game. It's a game that we played right from the beginning of the show. And this game asks, who would you do? What would you do? 3 different interesting people. It's an old kitchen table party game. And tonight our game is called Shag, Marry, Chop. And our theme tonight is celebrating a brand new show that is coming. It's not a brand new show. It's 25 years old in New York, off Broadway, but a brand new mega show that's coming to Las Vegas called Naked Boys Singing. And it starts an 11-month run in Las Vegas. So this week we are going to play with Chris Salvatore, who is in the show, David Hernandez, you know him from American Idol, and Marcus Terrell. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Who would like to start? Somebody volunteer.
Don't all jump up.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, I would. Okay, so it's. I guess I would.
Wow.
Chop.
Shag. This is Shag, Marry.
Okay, so I have to go in order. Okay.
Yes,
So I would shag Chris Salvatore.
He's cute.
David Hernandez is who I would marry. He is also in the show in Vegas. I
All
met
3
him.
of them.
Oh, all 3 of them. Okay. I met him when he was doing his Idol.
This is.
Oh, they're all in the same thing. I get it now.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the light bulb above his head?
No, that's just extra glare off on my forehead.
It was that
But I met David in Idol, and I fell in love with him like, God, he's just yummy and sweet and all that. And then I guess I'd have to chop Marcus just because I'm out of options.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Who would like to play next?
I'll go next. Okay, so I'm gonna let Chris Salvatore shag me, and that doesn't happen often because usually I'm the one who wants to shag them. But for this round, I'm liking Chris to be a top on me, which is fine. All right, so I'm gonna shag Chris, and I'm gonna marry Marcus. I think we're just gonna have a blast together. Just do TikTok videos till the sun comes
You're
up.
gonna
You
dance
know,
like that?
I could dance. Something like that, right? And so totally. So then that means that I have to chop Mr. David Hernandez. Yeah, I just
got
don't know,
a beautiful voice.
He's beautiful, but his name is too common. If he ever goes to jail, it'll be really hard to find him. You know? Like, so
What?
something in the Latin culture. There'll be like 15,000 David Hernandez in there, and then you can't find the one that you're looking for.
Wow.
It's happened to me. Anyway.
What?
Wish I were lying. Anyway.
And Dale, what do you think?
I'm still flummoxed with that. Wow.
Wow. Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shag Marcus because he's just like super fun. You know, like he got some rhythm. I like the rhythm, and he's super cute. And then I'm shag me, yeah. And then I'm going
Mary's
to
next.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna marry David Hernandez, you know, because he's a singer and I'm a singer. So I think I think Chris is absolutely sexy, adorable, and so hot. But just for the game's sake, he has to get shot.
Yeah, that's really sad. A little tear's going down my cheek.
I see that.
All right. Well, before we end the show, we are going to...
So Adam's not picking?
No, well, no.
Well, I mean,
that should be up to him if he doesn't, you know, right? Not to blow up your spot, Adam.
No, it's okay. I mean, I think that
You know Salvatore. The reason why I was skipping over that, you know one of.
But you can't pull one over on us, Al.
I think it's better for everyone if I just sit this one out.
Yeah, I think so too.
If I were Adam, I would, Shag.
Right. Before we end the show, we are going to introduce our sponsor, and that's Jet's Pizza. They're all over South Florida. If you're coming to South Florida, you've got to try the pizza of choice.
I had a slice. I got hungry.
Really?
I'm sorry. I was hungry. I'm sorry.
That's the cauliflower.
Oh, it's so good. The cauliflower crust with the vegan on top.
Yeah. Are you finished? You ate a slice of pizza.
I was hungry, and it's
my
really
gosh.
good.
All right. Well, we're all getting ready to enjoy it, and some have already done that. Well, that's it, South Florida, America. Another week with you and the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night and their good night message. And let's begin with Faye What?
Faye, what? So happy to be here on another Wednesday on It's Happening Now. I love this place. I will catch you guys next week on Monday and Wednesday on Queer News Tonight with my favorite white person, Mr. Al Ferguson. Yes. And of course, the Faye What Show is Tuesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Make sure you go on YouTube and find me, subscribe, like, and watch all the videos. It's a lot of fun. And I will see you guys here next week. Make sure you get your booster shots. Adopt, don't shop. Tell somebody you love them. Okay.
Are you done? Yeah, great. John, hey, a good night from you.
Love being here. Being here on Wednesdays is the best way to get over my hump on Hump Day, and I love bringing the stories to South Florida for South Florida Gay News and helping get the word out of all the important stories, philanthropy, use your words, John, philanthropy, political stories, and just the good works that people do on a daily basis, and that brings me joy. So happy Hump Day.
Absolutely. And Adam Gentle, the first time that we've had an LGBTQ representative on our show running for Congress. Oh, and that's also because there are none. So
That's true. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and make my final plea here, and it's a sincere one. At this time, I think that if we're not doing the work on the ground to win hearts and minds, we're not going to have a great success in 2022. So it's really critical right now that campaigns like mine have the resources to meet with voters, register voters, and have the opportunities to engage and make an impact that matters. And the only way we can do that is with your support. So again, www.adamfordemocracy.com. If you all did $25 tonight, it would seriously change the course of history.
Absolutely. And we want somebody from Florida to represent our community in Congress. And good night from Dale Stein.
Well, if you happen to live in Miami Beach, and I know that's not necessarily a huge audience, but we are some people, and you're voting, and if you live there and you're a resident, I hope you vote. There's a proposition for an alcohol ban in the clubs to stop selling alcohol at 2 a.m. I'm not out at that time, but the law is completely miscalculated and totally ridiculous. So I highly encourage you to vote no on 283. Vote no on 283.
I love how political we are tonight. That's lovely. All right. Well, I ask you, is what you've watched tonight important to you? You sat right here at the LGBTQ kitchen table right along with us. Let's do a quick review. We have talked about Dave Chappelle in great detail. We've talked about entertainment. We've talked about some of the big headlines. We've talked about a lot of different things. And my challenge is not what we've talked about, but where else can you hear these kind of conversations? With your answer to that question, that's why you're going to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. because this is the only place in America. We're getting ready to celebrate our 3rd anniversary of doing this. We have a gigantic audience that have followed us over the years, and we thank you very much. We will be here every single week talking about all the things that you would be talking about at your own kitchen table. So remember, we're here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. live. Don't forget Queer News Tonight daily at 8 p.m. Pick up Hotspots Magazine and South Florida Gay News, by the way. And support WMEG's events. And remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night.
Bye.